I did it. So it's already there. Yeah. Okay, let's start. Okay. Online. Am I audible? Okay. This is get request, right? Dot get is the get request. When I execute this 4 lines of code, we will be getting in the save ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. We'll be getting the output. Okay, this is the output what we will be getting from the Postman as well as from font, show fonts. Get request you will get so much only, right? In the JSON form. Right? Correct? Now, if I go back to Postman, hello Postman. ಯಾಕೋ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ಗಳು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ತಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. Okay. When I do this get request, okay. When I send this request, I'll get an output in such a way. Correct? Okay, this is not get request. One second. What is the URL of get request? /API /users /2. The second page content is loaded. Yes or no? Yes. Now I have to, how many records are there here? 6 records. Per page it is 6 records. ID number 7, ID number 8, ID number 10, 11, 12, 11, 12. Okay? So these are the records which I have got. Correct? Now you might have done something called as XPaths. XPaths it's completed? Yes, sir. Not completed. Don't worry. Now I have to verify whether my ID number 12 or ID key, the last ID, the 6th ID has 12 value, or I have to verify whether the email, 6th email which is present in that particular record, 6th email which is present in that particular record is having rachel.howell@recrest.in. Right? So that is my JSON body validator. Or I might also verify whether my page value is a 2, or my per page value is a 6, or my total value is 12, or my total pages is 2, or my entire data is having so much until here, or any particular key is having a particular value. That's the validation which I am going to perform. Correct? See, somewhere in the attendance register your roll number is 78. Whether that 78 is your name or not, whether the 100th record is having such a value or not. Correct? So those validations we have to perform. That is your body validation. In order to do that, we use something called as JSON path evaluator. What is that? JSON path evaluator. Like that. Where are you going to validate this? On the response. Yes, no, maybe. It is not on the request, right? We have done everything on the request. Have you done something on the body? No. So this is the return type is what? JSON, right? So we have to traverse through that particular path. I cannot directly say that, okay, go to avatar, give me the value. Which avatar? Right? Which stage of that particular, if there are 6 records, this is avatar number 1, data number 1. Then this is avatar number 2, avatar number 3, avatar number 4, avatar number 5, avatar number 6. Where will you get that? What value will be present in the avatar? SRS document. What value it has to display? It will be given in the SRS. Clear? So far clear? So we will see how to validate on the response body for that particular key. What is the value? I will retrieve that value, compare it with the expected result. This is my actual result. I want to compare this to the expected result. That is the validation. Normal manual testing. If there are 100 records, you cannot scroll down and say that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll count till 100. I will see whether this ID is 100 or not. That you do manually, right? The same thing we will perform it using REST assured. The manual data validation, we will perform it using REST assured. Clear? So far clear? Okay. How do we do it? We will take the response dot verify if you have something with JSON path. Are you able to see the first one? Get a JSON path view of the response body. This will let you see the JSON path syntax to get the values from the response. Example, assume that there is a get request info and this is my get request. If I have to take that particular, say for example, in this, what is that he is giving? Let me copy paste. Copy. What is that is the example given. See, I am not teaching you something which is not given. I am taking the same thing, control, show font. Correct? Okay. Are you able to see this? Okay. Now, assume that there is a get request, URL, returns the JSON as in this way. Okay. Now, you can make the request and get the winner ID. Where is the winner ID? Winner ID. Correct? How do you traverse it? How many winner IDs are there? 2 winner IDs are there. Winner ID 23, winner ID 54. Correct? He is telling use this dot JSON path of method dot get list Lotto dot winners dot winner ID. From where he is coming? First is the Lotto, then he is entering into the winners, then he is entering into the winner ID. So that is the path. And each path is differentiated by dot. Simple. First is the main tag, then the sub tag, then inside that how many are there? Correct? So we will look into our response, what we are getting. So dot, what is the method name? Dot JSON path of is the method. What is the return type of it? JSON path. As simple as this. Damar. What is the return type of this? JSON. What's this? Correct? Okay, na? Easy, simple, not difficult. Easy. Now, what is that he is asking us to do? Dot JSON path of dot get string path. The parameter which he is using inside the dot get is what? String. Correct? What is the return type of it is? JSON path. Correct? Dot string. Shall I give what is the first output? Page. Shall I give page? Okay. I'll just comment this out because I don't want to see so much of things are there. I'll just do sys out JP. Run as. Now I should get what? Page. What is the value? Under case. Let me convert this into dot to string. This we will take one more way of doing it. Damarcus. I did not come. Dot JSON path of dot get only, no? Everything is same. What is the issue? Java just import it again. Just okay, now JSON path import io.prestassure dot get the page. ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే రెస్పాన్స్ అనేది అయితే లేదా అయ్యో బాడీ in data body Damar, very good. Sit and do now. No, what happened? Internet correct agidya? Correct agidya. Do it in your system. Do it in your system. Why am I not getting it? Dot string. Here are the line code. Do it in your system. ನನಗೆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಡ ಕೊಡು ನನ್ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟೇ ನಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಲೈನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 36 itself is throwing an out. Are you sure we have used the same thing?
JSON what is it? Small j, big j.
Right. Dot. I'll use it here. Okay.
Same
ಯಾವುದು
JSON small responsible.
System dot out dot println. Why is system dot out dot println throwing an error? Ambiguous. JP dot get string path. What is my output? Page. did I do something with capital letter page? I don't know what I did. The page received from. Let me execute it. I don't know what was the problem. Huh. Pages? Probably I was giving capital letter page. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅದು ನಾನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲೇತೀನಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಿರ್ಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಆದರೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಸರಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಫುಲ್ ಮೇಲೋಗು ಕೇಳಿ ಫುಲ್ ಮೇಲೋಗು ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪೈಪಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ ಐತೆ ಆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಡ್ರಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಆದರೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಡ್ರಮ್ದು ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ ಐತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರ್ತದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರ್ತದೆ ವಾಲ್ ಅದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಟೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಟೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲೈತೆ ನೋಡಿ ವಾಲ್ ಡ್ರಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕದು ವಾಲ್ ಐತೆ ಆ ಕಡಪಕ್ಕದ ಮ್ಯಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೊಡಿಕ ತೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಂ ಅದೇ 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 ಅದು ತಿರುಗಿಸು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮಗಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಸಹ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮುಗೀತು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರೋಂಗೆ ನೀರು ಬರೋದು ಆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು see dot get output is what whether the boolean alla adu that is an object that's an object okay what is this particular thing dot get t antidiya alva t is your output right make it as t only make it as t now if you are getting some error over here let us push this into a variable idishtu madre matra enu baralla okay so obj is equal to the method get of string is of the type to the missing ಅದರದ್ದೇನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ parameter is t this may be a primitive type list or a map like let me take it into list if I take this into out anta itkondu what I'll get import a list from Java util print this out. Print this out. Wherever, right? Integer, oh, concatenation. Outer dot. How do you read a list? How do you read a list? Huh? Out of. How do you read a list? ಯಾವ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. If I take this as integer, dimensions 1. See, now this is a integer. Try this out. Even Nadia. Okay, I'm just putting it into list it over. List it ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ route ಮಾಡೋದು. Okay, this is done. Now let us see. I want to get the entire data. ಆಯ್ತಾ? I want to get the entire data. Now will I get the entire data? Yes. The entire data. Correct? Now inside that data, I want to route to ID of ID, the first ID. Correct? So data dot ID of 0. Let's see what we will get. Responses 7. The index starts from 0. 0. In Java, index starts from 0. Array list, everything is 0, right? It's not 1 or 2. It starts from 0. So if I put this into a list, if I put this dot get, if I put this into a list, and I'll print the length of this out dot size, right? How many are there? Oh, sorry, it has to be ID of just the ID. Just the ID. It is 6. Correct? Outer dot size of 0 is what? There are 6 items. Correct? Yes and no, maybe. Okay. The output of this is integer. Integer out size is equal. Now you can use assertions in order to validate whether the number 6 is equal to the total number of the records present. Right? Or put this into string first is equal to out dot get of index 0, add a casting to string. If I print, I don't know whether I'll get it or not. Let me try. Dot integer. Is it an integer? Integer. Printing The first integer is what? 7. Yes or no maybe?
Yes, sir.
However may be the case. You want to put it into a variable and then print it? Do it. Now you can use assertion, right? Instead of this, I can use assertion. How do you assert? Assert dot assert equals. Your actual is first and your expected is 7. Correct? First is what? 7. Okay, this failed because 7 is not equal to 7. Expected 7. I'm just giving it as an integer, right? So if I have to convert it into string and then compare it with 7. I mean, I want to do a string comparison. Otherwise, I can put it into an if loop, if condition, fast. See, on the go, you can code anything now. Easy, difficult, I don't know. Huh? Why did I convert it into integer? Because this is an integer. Right? That is an integer. Now, if I have to do it with email, right? I'll do email, okay? I'll do email. This will get failed. Because here, email is what? String, right? You have to see the response and then code it, obviously. If I do this, then it will fail, okay? I'll not do assert. I'll just print this first. Aita? I'll just concatenate using printing plus. Okay. Let us see the output of the first value of the email because I'm doing get of 0. This will fail. Why? Java.lang.string and Java.lang.integer are not in the module. So convert this into yes, no, maybe understood, not understood. Because the response in the email is a string. It is into double quotes. This will print it. Michael.lawson.request.in. This is explicit casting. In Java, there is a casting concept, right?
Yes, sir.
I have used Java casting concept here. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು? Understood, not understood? Not understood. Right, I'll do it again. Govinda. Leave about all these things. List, damar, dimar, leave it. You got to know this particular JSON path?
Yes, sir.
JSON path is clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, I want to print this JSON path. I want to get a particular key value. From there, I have to take the value of that particular key. I have to get the value of a particular key. All these on the left hand side of the semicolon is key because it is a JSON. On the right hand side it is value. What data type this is? String, because it is enclosed within double quotes. What data type it is? Integer, because it is just a number. If it is a string, then it would have been enclosed within double quotes. So far clear? Correct? Now, if I go back and I have to print jp dot get a particular path. What is that path? The string is the parameter, so I have to pass the key of the response. Key of the response. Which key left to you? We'll take page, the first key. Simple. Page. Okay, na? No error. I want to print this. Okay? I want to print the value what I am getting from the output of the page key. That is my value which is here. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I have to see page per page, total page, data are the static content. On the right hand side it is a dynamic content. These are all dynamic, right? See ID, email, first name, last name, avatar. ID, email, first name, last name, avatar. The values are changing. On the right hand side it is dynamic content. On the left hand side it is a static content. So far clear?
Yes.
Right? So I have to verify in the SRS they are telling that the value should be 2. Now I have to verify whether it is 2 or not. Simple. So I'll just print it. I'll just print this. Okay. I'll just concatenate it. Printing the value of a page. Okay, na? Printing the value of the page from the response. What is the value? 2. Am I getting 2 over here? Right. But I have to assert it in order to make my test case pass or fail. Right, that we will do it later. Now I have to, let us verify the other one per page. Right? Hello? Hello? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗೆ ಅದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನೀರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪೈಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನೀರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪೈಪಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಕರೆಯೋದಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾಗೆ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹೌದಾ? Okay, per page. Let us see for the per page. Right? What is the per page value? 6. Am I getting 6 there? So far clear?
Yes, sir.
Correct? I'll see one more. Total. Total. I'll see. What is the value of the total? 12. Am I getting 12 over here?
Yes, sir.
Simple. Right? Now I'll do one more. Total pages. Total pages. What is the value? 2. What is the value here? 2. I'll give data. The problem comes in the data itself. How do you navigate till the end? ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರು Okay, now you got the entire data, whatever is printing. This is the entire data from where till here. Correct? ID is equal to 7, ID is equal to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 data. 4 data are there here. On the left hand side it is static content. On the right hand side it is dynamic content. From the square bracket till where the square bracket ends here. You are getting the entire content because it is enclosed within the square bracket open, square bracket close. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Simple. So far easy. But now if I have, hello,
Yes, sir.
correct? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು?
Okay.
Okay. Now if I have to navigate inside the data which is having 6 data sets, right? 6 IDs. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you didn't understand, I'll write it on the board. Understood so far, clear?
Yes, sir.
So data dot ID, data dot email, data dot first name, data dot last name. But how many are there? 6 are there,
Yes, sir.
right? So the index starts from 0. So data dot ID of 0. Shall I do that? Data dot ID of 0. Correct? If I printed, what is the value of data dot ID of 0? 7.
Yes.
Will I get 7? Yes, I got 7. Now I want the ID of 1. What is the ID of 1? 8. Data dot ID of 1. What is the value? 8. Did you get 8? Similarly, you can do it for first name, avatar, email. Email of 1. What is the result of email of 1 here? Lindsay.ferguson@recrest.in. Now did you get that here? Right? Now if I have to compare it, then I have to store it into a variable. If I have to compare the values, then I have to store it into a variable. Again, problem starts there. Right? Now what is the output of this dot get? That we have to verify. In order to store that, we should have a data type, right? We should have a data type. What is that? Let me type it here. Let us see. JP dot get. Okay. What is this? This may be a primitive type, a list or a map. Correct? Because it is just given as what? T. There is nothing called as T, right? In Java. Is there a data type called as T? No. So when I scroll down here, it is telling the object matching the object graph. This may be any primitive type, a list or a map. Otherwise, java.lang.classCast exception will be thrown. That exception will be thrown if you do not store it properly. Correct? So it is a list. So what I'll do it, I'll just put this, the same code here, data. Correct? Yes or no maybe?
Yes, sir.
The output is what return type? List. Shall I just give it as list of out? Just a variable name is out. Now how do you read data from a list? That's again a problem. Right? Yes, no, maybe. Correct? How do you read the data from a list? That is Java, pure Java concept. You will read it using a method called get. Get of the index. What is the return type? Object. Where it can be used? It can be used in the list. What is the return type?
Object.
Object, right? Dot get of 0. Now data is of what object type? Data, the output of the data, when you go back and look into the response, which data type it is? Data, and not the data, one second. Page, right? We will, okay, page. What is the output of this? Integer. What is the output of per page? What is the output of total? Total pages? Data dot ID Data dot email.
String.
Why it is a string? Enclosed between double quotes. Simple. It varies, right? It varies. Now, I'll do it very simple. It is an integer, so I will mark this as integer. Again, it's an object, right? Int is a data type. Int GER is a object data type. Primitive data types, non-primitive data types, keywords. All those things are there, right? Right? So int EGER is the primitive data type, whatever you may call it in Java. So I'll just put it into a output called page underscore outer. Is that fine? Now this directly cannot be converted into it, so you are casting it out. You have to add cast it to the integer. If I don't cast it, change the type of page out to an object. If I change it, it will become an object. I cannot print the object directly. That you know. If I directly print it, then it will go and print the hexadecimal number. Right? The address of the object will be printed. So I cannot print it directly. Right? So I know that it is an integer, so I am converting it into an integer. But I have to cast this as an integer. So I am casting this as an integer. Otherwise, if you don't want to do it, keep it as an object itself. No problem. If I have to print only this, shall I print this out here? Page underscore out. What will I get? Let us see. I am teaching you both the ways. Class cast exception, which it already told that if you don't store it properly, then you will get the class cast exception, right? So I will not do this. If I have to do this toString also, I will get a class cast. Because that is of an integer type, you are converting it into a string and then printing it out. Again class cast exception. Otherwise, if I have to do this, can I add here itself? Yes, you can do it. Why not? I don't want it to convert it. I am casting class cast exception, so I have to get rid of it. So I am using integer class as a casting. Have you come across upcasting, downcasting, object casting? This is object casting. Where did you implement object casting? If at all there is an interview question on Java, you tell that while using rest assured, I have used this. As simple as that. Practical example of where did you implement the casting. If I execute this, definitely I will get page. That is what value it is? 2. I gave you. Gone case. So I don't want to do this. Go. At last. Yeah, I don't want to. Let me do it here itself. Why printing and then casting it up? Oh, again I have to store it in. I have to cast it with. 1 second. Printing. You cannot directly print.
Sir, page out ಮಾಡೋದು value ಅಲ್ವಾ page. Get of page page out
No, out dot get of 0. Oh, get of 0, right? Why get of 0? There is no. Sorry. There is no 0, right? I thought of data. No. Dot. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಹ್ಮ್.
page opener
But this is directly an integer, right? Oh, this directly is an integer. Integer out. But directly it is an integer, right? I don't want to cast. But for the other things you have to cast. For data dot zero dot id of 1 you have to cast it. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸವಾಸನೆ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಿ. ಅದು ಯಾಕೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ. That's an integer output, right? So the object type is what? Integer. ಅದೇ ಅಂತೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, now if I have to print this, right? Let me store the response dot this is and all is correct. Now jp dot get of what? Data dot id of 0. ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು anything, yeah. Okay, now this is a string, right? That output is what? String, right? Correct? Huh? Now if I have to print this output of image from response, ಬರುತ್ತಾ output? ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ? Right? Simple? As simple as that? Okay, take it into one variable which is of that response output data type, print that. If you want to verify it using assert, do assert. Do assert. Who is stopping you? JSON for evaluator? List ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ see if there are 6 values which are printing and you want to verify whether it's 6 or 7, then use list and verify how many sizes are there. See, in the SRS if they are telling that there must be 8 records, 8 records under the data, but you are getting 6. How will you count that records? Take list, put it into a list, dot size of, compare it. However you wish. However you wish. Okay? Only 2 things which you have to remember is, first line is this. ಆಯ್ತಾ? Object creation new keyword ಐತಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Right? The other thing is how to get that particular value. Data dot id of 0, of 1, of 2, of 3. What is the value which you are expecting? Which data type it is? Whether it's an integer or whether it's a string. Now if I have to take, say for example, if I have to, I'll do one more thing. jp dot get of data. Now what is the return type of this? In the response. From the square bracket till the square bracket. Where square brackets are used? In Java concept, where square brackets are used? If it is greater than or lesser than which concept? ಅಯ್ಯಯ್ಯೋ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? If it is in a square bracket, enclosed within the square brackets, is it an array?
Array.
No, dabba fellows, array alben bro. If it is, if the size can be varied in an array, what is that? See, array size is fixed. What is the next concept of it where the size can be varied? Ganapati Bappa Moria. Lord, array size cannot be varied. Fixed length. Where is the other type where the size can be varied? list control, Dabba fellows, array list, array list. Why did you go to array list? నేను చూపిస్తాను. ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ, 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮುಗೀತು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗೀತಾ?
ಆಯ್ತು, ಡೇಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು.
ಸೊ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು
ಮಾರ್ಕ್
ಬೇಡ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಾಲಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ
ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ API ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ. I'll send you an API. Okay, I'll send you the URL. Get to put to post patch and all details I'll give you. You have to do it in Postman as well as do it in REST. You have to do everything. JSON path evaluator, snippets, all of the entire class, whatever I have taught, you have to repeat it using those APIs. Create a collection, create an environmental variable, global variable, collection variable. Do the snippets. Ma, don't see like that. Variables I have taught you. Or variables, what variables? Global variable.
Collections.
ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸರ್, ಹೋಗಿ
ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ, ಅದೇನು ಡಮ್ಮಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅದು.
ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್.
ಅದಿನ್ನ 10 ನಿಮಿಷದವರೆಗೂ ಡಮ್ಮಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹಾ,
ಈಗ 2 years ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Who completed Selenium?
ಕೈ ಎತ್ತು, ವಿಕಿಪೀಡಿಯಾ
completed Selenium array list ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, that's it for the API. Thank you so much. Bye.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾಳೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Okay.
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು
ಅದೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Almost
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಡೀತು.
ನಾನು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಮುಂಚೆ. ಹಾ, ಅದು ಈಗ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್.
the Pratyush
Put that
came
in
from
knowledge
Capgemini. That they took to
ಸರ್ ನಾಡಿದ್ದು ಬಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾಡಿದ್ದು
ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ.
Sirish also came from workplace. She is also Capgemini. It will be easy to attend.
ನಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಾನು ಬಂದೆ
Verification also.
ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ.
ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕ್ವಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್
ಬರೀ 2 ವರ್ಷ
ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಜೆಮಿನಿ
2 plus is 5.
ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸರ್
ನೋಡಿ
ಅದಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಯಾವ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮು?
ನಾನು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುಡುಗ
Sir, ಅವನಂತೂ ನಂಬೇಡಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಯಾರನ್ನು ನಂಬಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗೋ ತನಕ ಯಾರನ್ನು ನಂಬಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಂಬೋದು. ಅವರು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೀನ್ಗಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಂಬೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹಾಕೊಡೋದು.
ಹಾಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಫೈಲೆಂಟ್
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಬರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ
So you are Selenium is no. Tomorrow we can have 4 hours of class. ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ ನೋ ನಾಳೆ ಜಾವ ಬರ Wednesday ನಿಮಗೆ Selenium ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್.